Hello, wrestling fans. It is.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
For WWE Smackdown.
Yeah. That day.
Yeah.
Neither of us have our mic, so hopefully somebody can.
I'm close enough. You can hear me. It's two sounds. It's already.
Cool.
Anyways, if anybody has been joining us or just joined us or whatever, SmackDown isn't starting with anything except for what they did during their press conference / drama spectacular fiasco spectacle basically they did yesterday. So supposedly
The Rock turned heel.
supposedly was like, oh, I'm on Roman's side, I'm his family, blah blah blah, and then he slapped Cody.
When you're talking about his blood, when you're talking about my blood.
You're talking about my blood.
When 30 seconds earlier, he talked about Cody's blood. So it's like, what the fuck is the difference?
Yeah, this guy's a dumbass. I don't think he really knows what's happening. And then some stuff got told to Triple H in the back.
Beep, beep, beep.
So, yeah. So, they're probably going to pull this off as, like, that was what was going to happen anyways. So, Cody picked Roman and came out and picked him for their press conference. So, it's a done deal right at this second that Cody's going up against Roman for that.
And that's all that matters. Now the rest of WrestleMania can fall into place, but that was the most important thing they could have done. Now I honestly don't care about the rest of the card.
Right. My question is if this really was like their whole like scheme, or if they felt the backlash of their stupidity.
Look,
and everybody who came out and started, do not do this.
right.
Death threats.
Tony Khan's coming out first.
Who are real life people. Let's not give death threats to people.
Formerly known as Triple H.
Anyways, whether or not Rock's good guy back, I don't give a shit. He shouldn't even be there in the first place in any of it, unless it's just him teaching Roman a lesson about who's really the head of the table in their history family tree of crap. Anyways,
But that can happen later. They
it
can
could
do
have
that
happened
anytime.
without. He doesn't need. The problem is he shouldn't have the championship when that shit does happen. The
Fact.
championship should be nowhere near Roman. If they're going to dissolve all of that so Roman can leave and do his thing or whatever their plan is for him, I don't care.
Tony Triple H Khan.
Anyways, we
Good.
have
High
Brandon
five
in the
people.
chat. Hey, Brandon. We also have Chris tonight. Sophie is with us. Everbless is out there.
Look good.
Chris says, hey, guys. Brandon's like, Rock just slapped Cody Rhodes. Yeah, that happened last night. They're just doing highlights from their press conference.
This is live. The Triple H thing is live.
Yeah. Tony Khan, Triple H guy is down there. He's going to give you a talking to about stuff. Sophie says, hi, did you see that press event where they turned the Rock heel? Chris
I
says,
watched the whole thing.
hit tag match at Night 1 Mania is stupid. People think Rock and Roman versus Cody Seth. Sophie says, the way they did that press event, I want them to do that for the draft, and it also reminded me of what they do with sports. Sophie said, do you think they will do the press event for all the major pay-per-views?
No. It's a big deal. I mean, it's his first ever run in the show at WrestleMania time. He wanted to make it sound like it was a big deal.
And he had to do something to quell all the noise that they fucked up. Like, they know they fucked up. They did something. And I'm going to say this right now. There's no way that this was their storyline before. No fucking way. No way.
No, they saw the backlash and were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It trended for 3 straight days. We want Cody on Twitter. Or
Yeah.
X, whatever you want to
And
call it.
if they fuck Cody over and he doesn't win, they're going to even have a bigger problem. Like, they totally fucked up that whole storyline. They made a big boo-boo.
I don't think Cody has to win. As
I'll be
long as it's a
surprised.
great match. I'm not saying he's not going to. I'm just saying.
Ever bless the slow wrestling fans and the Gab family. And Sophie says Seth Rollins was the fourth wheel in that whole thing last night.
He shouldn't have been up there. It was weird. He came out, and then even Roman came out and told the truth. Just facts. He's like, why are you out here?
True.
Like, you're nothing. You're on the B table.
Yeah,
Like,
they really
Because
totally
he really is.
screwed him over for that one. Chris says, sorry, Travis and Cindy, just been watching close, especially my jersey. Somehow some bag came into my house and smeared either shit, mud, or hot cocoa on my new jerseys. They knew what they were doing.
What the?
So you're saying what you did is that you were wearing your jerseys nicely and you spilled hot cocoa on them, and now you have to wash them because you made a mistake. Oops.
Did you say steak?
I said stroke. Over bless the side of Sophie. Sophie says, it looks like we won't see Roman versus Rocket Mania. They could do that for SummerSlam 41. Chris says, but thank goodness they got cleaned. Better be glad I
Listen to
wasn't
that.
homophobic.
Rocky sucks.
Found someone in my house, it wouldn't have ended pretty. We're in Texas, you know. Chris says, but anyway, it's time for some SmackDown. Brandon says Michin is going to win Elimination Chamber. That's interesting.
She's got to win tonight. And she's wrestling Bianca to enter that chamber. So I'm going to have a feeling that she's not going to enter the chamber.
Oh, don't worry. They'll give him a really long match and make it think that Michin is so great when she's garbage.
Let's call her by her name. Reckon.
Name is garbage.
Reckon.
Do what? Sophie says, did you see that Roman left behind the Rock and the
He's
Rock
talking
gave
about the
CM
Rock
Punk the
now.
death stare last night? Sophie says that Rock heel turn came out of nowhere. He's talking to Rock because of something he said to him after the press conference in the back.
Like he's in charge.
Yeah. But the problem of it is Rock really is your boss, so fuck off, dude.
Tony Khan in here trying to be tough.
Oh.
I don't know where they get that idea. There's been some pretty big WrestleManias.
They can't say it's big just because it's 40 years. 40 years means absolutely dog shit. When you've had shit ones and fabulous ones from the beginning, you can't say number 40 is supposed to be so much good because it's a 40th anniversary
You've had
of it.
Brock.
Who gives a fuck?
You've had Brock beat the Undertaker streak. That's huge. How are you going to compete with that?
Oh, he doesn't exist anymore. That didn't happen.
Anyways, the reality is it did happen. Pretty sure you've had Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon. They didn't actually wrestle. They picked wrestlers to wrestle for them. And Bobby won for Trump. And so Vince had to shave his head.
Right.
Tony Khan trying to be tough. That's fun.
He still looks sick.
He is sick. He has a bad heart.
I mean, he looks gross. Like, they try to make him look okay, but he looks gross. Like, he is so fucking grody pale. It's disgusting.
It is February. A lot of people are pale in February. You're pale.
Do I look like I have a heart issue with my paleness? Exactly.
Look at this. 2 GMs. Did we see Braun Breaker on Monday? Shoes? I don't remember seeing Braun Breaker on Monday.
I think he gave him his contract.
Did he? Did he sign a contract on Monday?
No, he just gave him said,
Oh,
here
check it out.
is,
He did.
I will double anything. That
Yeah,
he
that's
did.
right. Okay, never mind. So they did do something on it.
So they just gave him another contract. We'll look at it. What now?
Elimination Chamber. Postman Pierce. Why do you think they call him Adam instead of Postman? He's basically Postman Pierce. He's always been Postman.
This is like, so Roman versus Cody, where does that leave The Rock? I don't give a fuck
Yeah,
where
who
he
cares?
goes.
Rock
Do not care. He could disappear into oblivion for all I give a shit.
Oh, look, the men's elimination chamber. That's a lot of men. So
Randy Orton, Braun not Braun, what's his face? The big fat guy.
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed, KO.
Wait, so what is this? Why is there
Logan,
so many
AJ,
men?
Miz.
Are they all in it?
Nickel.
Yeah.
He's like, damn, it really is that loud out here. No wonder he can't talk.
Ooh.
Oh, so it's an elimination. So it's an elimination thing
What
for
the
them to
fuck?
have.
AJ Styles and
Versus
Drew
Drew?
McIntyre? This is a main event.
Well, one's on Raw and one's on SmackDown, right?
Yeah.
That's why.
Holy shit. And they're both heels?
Mhm.
That's just cray-cray. What a great way to start out the show. Yeah, this is a big start. This is a main event match, like on a pay-per-view main event type match.
So this is why are SmackDown guys competing for a Raw championship? Because they can't? Chris says, yeah, they erased Brock. That's literally the greatest wrestling accomplishment in Mania history. Sophie says, so 12 people. Interesting choice to open. And Chris says, hello, Postman Pierce doing an LA Knight impression. Chris says, oh shit, Drew is on SmackDown. And Sophie says, some of those guys don't deserve to compete for a spot in the chamber.
Well, of course not.
Everbless-
Bronson Reed and Dominik and shit. But they got to put him in there.
Everbless says WWE needs to do Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Loser leaves, winner takes all. Chris says, oh, DM Punk versus CM Punk. Sophie says, today Amazon announced they will exclusively stream NFL wildcard playoffs.
That is super cool.
Good luck with their exclusivity.
That's the way to do it. That's how you get huge numbers.
Well, exclusively streaming is one thing, but it should still be on major networks.
It's a wild. Everything's going to end up on streaming networks. In the next 10 years, that's all there is.
I think that might fall through the cracks for them a little bit here lately with what they've been doing.
No, I'm just saying your satellite companies are all going to disappear. They're going to become either internet companies or phone companies or something else. Even DirecTV, that's what they're working, or not Dish Network, that's what they're working on, is their 5G network.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to disappear.
It's going to all come to bite them in the butt.
And then anybody that does cable, it's just going to come through the internet, and you'll just like a Roku or something.
Problem with that is not
Like this,
everybody
like what I'm
has
watching right now.
internet. Old people don't have internet. So what you're telling me is they're obsoleting old people.
Yes, and those old people
They're obsoleting
in
old
10
people.
years are 50, 60 now, 70 now. That's my aunt's age, and she has the internet. She uses it. Deborah.
Not everybody does that kind of
I'm
stuff.
just
though.
saying,
If you put it in somebody else's hand, like my dad, for instance, put it in his hands of an old person.
in 10 years, your
I'm
dad
not
will be
talking
90.
about Tina. I'm talking about even right now with all the internet stuff that they have and everything.
Right. And I'm not telling him to do it now. I said in 10 years it's going to be gone.
And I'm telling you that there's people that are in their 60s who don't want anything to do with the internet.
I know somebody in his mid-40s. He'll be 45.
Don't talk about your friends like that.
That doesn't know anything about the
It's not very nice.
We
Don't
talk
talk-
about it all the time.
Don't talk about yourself, Travis. It's not cool.
I know nothing about the internet.
I know you don't.
I don't know how it works. Does anybody know how the internet actually works? I get that it's computers talking to each other, but how do you get on it? And how do you like have a company that does it? So like we have Sparklight, say, right? And then there's some satellite companies, and then there's a couple other ones, and then you got Starlink. How do they get on the internet
I'm not sure.
to sell internet? Like how do you get
Is
to
it
the
just
internet?
really fast phone network?
That's not what I'm talking about. Like
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know how dial-up internet was? It was over a phone line.
right.
So, is this stuff just over a phone line?
Yeah, I mean they're
but
all
it's just really, really fast.
right. But how are they talking? Like where's the internet located?
It's in the cloud.
Right? That's what I'm getting at. Like, that's the only part that I don't really understand about the internet. It's like, How can these mega companies get on the internet and then sell me access to it? Why can't I get on the internet and sell access to people? Right? So there's got to be a way to get on the internet. And I get that it's, if I plug that computer into that computer, that's an internet. That's how it started. The modems.
It's literally called intranet, but okay. It's different.
Anyway.
Just saying.
Being weird.
No, that's not being weird. That's just a fact.
All I
It's
know
literally called.
is there's an Indian tribe. They're called the Hopis. You can look up their lore. And at the end of times, the world will be eaten by a big spider. And the reason they know that is because there's a giant web that surrounds the whole entire world at the end. Think how creepy and crazy that sounds. Like, oh,
Only if you're scared of spiders.
No. The web. The internet, the web, the interweb.
Right.
That's crazy that they predicted that in the freaking whatever year it was when they were writing on rocks. 1500, 1400.
Spiders are creepy. Chris says this is like when Brock faced Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series, both hills. It says, remember Rami and Michelle high school reunion? I have watched that movie
I
a couple
have
of
seen
times.
it once, but I don't remember anything.
Everbless says, I think Brock Lesnar was released today. I heard it on TMZ online. Oh, you know TMZ.
That's fine. That's not even
They're
a big deal.
definitely a reliable source of information, you know.
Like Brock needs
Women
more
getting
money.
pregnant by alligators and whatnot.
That's terrible. Was she swimming?
Blood Ninja. It's like the National Enquirer, the TMZ. It's like this like celebrity fucking news thing, and they like have the most far-fetched stories sometimes. I mean, and they'll like be like, hey, sell us your pictures of your celebrities, right? And so like you sell, like give them like you took a picture of a celebrity, right? And you sell it to them, and it's some kind of it looks like it's a compromising position, but it's really not. It's just perception, right? And they'll take that and run a whole story on how so-and-so got really fat and ate a whole bunch of cheeseburgers. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. You're
Randy
just like,
Orton is on here tonight.
What's wrong with you people?
It looks like Randy might have a match tonight.
He does. He's in the Elimination Chamber thingy.
They're not all tonight.
One of them is. Right
No,
now.
That's not Randy.
He's there too, so they must be having a fight together.
Oh, I hope they wrestle each other.
I want him to beat each other in the face hole. Anyways, Blood Ninja's in the chat. Hey, Blood says hello. Hello! Sophie says that means the 5 losers of the Elimination Chamber will find roles at Mania. Does it? Rika is in the chat. Hey, Rika, good to see you tonight. Sorry, I'm trying to get to everybody's stuff. Travis had a really long story about a spider.
It lasted 20 seconds.
It was like 5 minutes. It was ridiculous. Rika says, it's been a while since I checked on y'all. We're still alive. It's weird. Sophie says Rami and Michelle High School Reunion is going to have a sequel. They announced it this week. How sad that they're going to ruin such a great movie.
It's
with
a sequel. It's the same people, probably.
Everbless says, are you eating soup, D? No, I'm eating SpaghettiOs.
Yeah,
It's kind of like soup, I guess.
L.A. Night.
Sophie says, if you like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you might like Charmed. I like Charmed up until Shannon Doherty had to be let go because of Alyssa Milano and her egotistical ways of stupidity. And then it
Anywho,
becomes
we
kinda
do watch
stupid.
some Charms, and yes, it's probably good. I like Buffy for other reasons than boobs. Yeah, because that's all those girls are on.
Boobs.
A lot of boobs.
No, I'm talking about Buffy. That's why I like Buffy. Boobs.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Cordelia, when she was in high school, that you creep.
I don't know
she
why.
was like
No, I
29
didn't
years
say
old.
why you like Buffy. Why do you like Buffy? Like, I was like, I don't know if he'll like this. We can watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And he's like, this sounds corny. And then he watched it. He's like, this is actually pretty good. I'm like, what about it do you like? Curiosity of the questions. So he says the WWE
It's
management.
wholesome.
It's wholesome.
Yeah, like it's.
The WWE.
It does change though later.
A unified front. That is an interesting story that they kind of done before. Yeah, they're just trying to save face. Rebecca Chatless in the chat. River Bless says, I'm just heating up some beef patty. Beef. What's for
Did
dinner?
you say beef patty? Like
Beef patty.
hamburger?
Beef patty. I love it. Rebecca says, hey! Long time time no see. Been busy with doctor appointments and stuff. Wow, doctor's appointments. Sophie says, so whoever loses these qualifying matches, wonder what they are going to do at Elimination Chamber.
Nothing.
Not be there, hopefully, ever, so we don't have to see their faces.
But they will be at Mania.
And their loserdom.
They're going to put everybody at Mania. I'm surprised they don't just do giant tag team matches at WrestleMania. Wait and see. Because he's Tony Khan, right? Like
basically.
So we're going to get those, like, 4-on-4, 6-on-6, 5-on-5.
They're like, well, we have to have some, people in the...
Some sort of battle royal. They're going to do a lot to get everybody on there sometime. Especially with all those NXT guys. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Hermes show up. Because, if you guys didn't notice, they did have the WrestleMania sign on NXT.
Which I think is ridiculous. I don't think they should be allowed to have that. Erica says, hi, hello. Sophie says they are setting up LA Knight versus AJ Styles match. Maybe. Rebecca says, been busy with doctors, but I'm back. Sophie says Disney announced Moana 2 is coming this November, and the live-action Moana is coming next year.
Nice.
Yeah.
For people that are interested in that, that's a great one. I didn't mind it.
Good for them. I liked it. But at the same time, now I hate it.
Yeah, it's because you let things outside of people's work.
Just kidding. I still like the movies that I like to watch. I just do not like him as a person.
Right.
Separate it. Person is terrible. And he's bringing it into his quote-unquote wrestling crap. And I think that's wrong. He should not do that.
I heard he ruined, like, the DC universe. Like,
yeah.
He had ruined something else before that, too. I was looking at, and I was like, holy crap. He's a little bit of a cancer.
He is. That's the terrible part about it. Nobody sees. They're like, no, it's amazing. It's like, no, really, he ruins everything he gets. I think it was the Fast and the Furious
franchise. That's the one, yeah.
I think he ruined that too, if I remember right.
Fast and Furious was one. And then they had to, like, replace him with John Cena or something. And then it's the DC stuff. And now it's wrestling, and they eradicated that quickly.
Don't worry, he's gonna ruin some other stuff too. He's gonna ruin the, like, free-for-all, like, football stuff. Don't worry, that'll probably get ruined as well. It'll take a minute, but it'll happen, I bet. Anyways, Rebecca said, been busy with doctors, been back. And Robert Warney's in the chat, says, hey, y'all. Hey, Robert, how's it going? How was your week, man? You got anything planned for Super Bowl Sunday? Anybody gonna go to parties or something?
McKenna called me this morning. Said she might come. Said, are we doing any parties? I said, no. She's like, well, is Lisa gonna cook anything? Because that's the only reason I really want to come.
Oh, God.
And then I said, well, I'm sure she'll cook something. And then she's like, all right. Well, I'm going to see if Cameron's parents are having a party, because I usually do, and I haven't been there for like 2 years. I don't know why I would want to go there, because they're just like him. So it's like having two older Camerons. This is this morning at like 8 o'clock.
Oh, that's funny. Oh.
Anyways, that was my conversation. She was going to school.
Sophie says these qualifying matches are kind of predictable, especially if they are scheduled to announce Logan Paul's next challenger. Sophie says Moana 2 is a surprise because it seems like they worked on it for a while since it is coming this year. Sophie says John Cena is also in the Fast and Furious franchises as well, so they will be in the same movie for the first time ever. But will they? Robert Warney says, my weekend is great. Yeah?
Good.
Your week was great? You're having a good weekend? Is your weekend started already? It is the weekend, technically, for some people. Friday nights.
Saturday morning.
Friday night. Your weekend special. So I asked him who's going to parties this weekend on Super Bowl. Or are y'all just staying at home?
I'm partying like a rock star.
Yeah. I'm not sure. If she does decide to come, I'll have to make more things than what I planned on doing.
Up all night, sleep all day. That's crazy. The Rock starting the Daytona race.
The next thing he's going to ruin NASCAR.
He can't do anything
Good job.
about it. You smell what the NASCAR is cooking? And they're going to all boo him. And there's like 1 million people at those events.
And they're
Those
the type of
Daytona?
people that watch wrestling, by the way.
No, that's what I was just gonna say.
They're
like
totally wrestling people.
We want Cody. That NASCAR in Daytona with a cajillion people in the seats. They have like stands all the way around, and it's like a mile or something.
Mm-hmm.
You fit a lot of people in there. I swear to God, they have like 170,000 people or something. I can't remember what the number is, but it's really high.
Those races?
Yeah.
Well, Daytona probably. They might have quite a few like that. Or big enough numbers.
Mm-hmm.
We're back from that commercial break, guys. We're coming back to that AJ Styles versus Drew match for an Elimination Chamber.
Daytona, is that in
Florida,
Daytona Beach?
It's like a beach, yeah.
Okay.
They used to race on the beach, by the way.
In the sand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they literally used to race on the sand back in the day when it first started.
Right, well, like when they were running from cops, bootleggers, that stuff.
It was after bootleggers, but yeah.
Supercars up the race, man. My grandpa used to do that.
Like drag strip racing?
No,
or
circle
track? Mm.
Yeah, him and Pat's dad, Vern,
Mm-hmm.
were really good friends, and they were both really mechanical, and so they had a race team,
Right.
and they would race circle tracks, and they came up with the idea because they used those flatheads back then. They didn't have these; they had flatheads, and they only run straight up and down.
Right.
So when you're racing them around the track, they're sideways the whole time.
Yeah.
So they mounted their engine sideways.
Yeah.
So when they were running at full speed, it was actually
Better.
flat.
Uh-huh.
And so they were getting a lot more power. And that's why they won so much. That was probably Vern's idea because he was very mechanical.
Don't worry, Drew McIntyre's going to muscle AJ up to the second rope here.
Uh-oh,
with him on his
AJ's going to
back.
roll down.
AJ's like, no, I'm going to get you.
AJ's like, I can smell
coming
your
down.
butt.
I fell down.
Schmegma.
He's
Oh,
like,
no.
He's like, let me break a knee ball. Drew's like, here's my taint, mister. My taint. You like it, don't you?
My nuts are on your forehead.
Fuck. Everybody's like, oh no, you can't do wrestling like that. It's all I see when I watch it anymore.
Well, anytime they do a move
Old
like
Drew and his
that.
manties out there.
Can you imagine him in tight pants? AJ. It would look funny.
He's worn tight pants out there before. Robert says, yeah, Friday is the start of the weekend. It's great, though. I do have plans. I can't wait for the Super Bowl. Nice.
Who do you got winning it?
Are you a fan of either one of the
You think
things,
Taylor
or
Swift
you just
and the Chiefs will beat the
49ers?
Brock Purdy and the 49er? That's a tough one.
Sophie says, I'm surprised Gunther isn't part of this qualifying thing.
I don't think he can go to
Perth.
and so that's why I think he's not in it. Wasn't Logan in it?
Yeah.
So Logan's in the tournament, so is it for his belt?
He's in the Elimination Chamber tournament tonight, but he could lose, depending on who he's up
Exactly,
against.
and not lose the belt?
Yeah, because
And
it's
then-
not for the belt, it's for
Right, and then the next question is this for Seth's title?
They didn't really specify. It's just a
Well,
qualifying match to be an Elimination Chamber.
I know, but what's Elimination Chamber for?
I don't know.
For fun? No, it's got to be for the other title then.
They haven't specified the title for it yet, though, so who knows? Richard Longsniffer, or Dick as we know him in here, is in the chat tonight. Says, do you think the Young Bucks will release the video footage of Kenny Omega upper anus compaction injury? No, I'm not sure if they will do that.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know if they will. Pornhub's like kind of against that unless they have like written permission and stuff.
True. Consent forms from everybody all the way around.
If that's where he's going. I mean, there are some private, like where you can just leak shit, but I don't know what it's called, like Reddit or something.
So he says, so I'm guessing we will see Raw stars on SmackDown and SmackDown stars on Raw for a minute. So he says, I'd rather have Gunther over Ivar or Dirty Dom. And so he says the Rock Hill didn't see that coming. Why? He's been a Hill before. What difference does it make?
The only problem with having Gunther in it, if you did that, is he would have to win.
True.
And the reason is because they don't have him lose. So he'd win his qualifier, and then he'd go in, And the only way to be eliminated in Elimination Chamber is to be pinned or submitted.
Oh, God.
And he isn't going to be pinned or submitted.
I think AJ just got whiplash.
Yeah, he took off so fast.
He got whiplash from Drew pushing him in the back. Sophie says, I thought we would see Drew versus Cody at the Elimination Chamber after Drew attacked him on Monday. Ayla says, what up, mother lickers? How much, Ayla? What up with you? Sophie says Drew still haven't re-signed with the WWE. He can work as an independent agent for a minute.
He had
That's
him
okay.
pinned, and AJ screwed it.
You mean LA Knight screwed it?
Yeah, who did I say?
You said AJ screwed it.
Okay, whatever. That's it. Play more, country. 1, 2, and 3. It's over.
Robert says, I'm a big
Scottish
fan of the
psychopath.
Chiefs. I think the Chiefs is winning the Super Bowl.
We'll do that one.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely could.
Chris says, hello, Taylor Swift will get all the WCW style pyro at Super Bowl. Sophie says, Adam said qualifying matches will take place on the next 3 episodes. Yeah?
Yeah.
Chris says, I wonder which celebrity gets biggest pyro victory. Taylor, Shohei Ohtani, Roman Reigns, or Rock. Sophie says, at least whoever wins the chamber will be a fresh match for Seth. Depends on who it is.
So how is Logan going to get screwed?
Yeah, it does. It says it right there. Faces Seth freaking Rollins at blah, blah, blah. They did finally put it down.
So now I need to see the people so I can actually make an educated guess on who it's going to be. But as of right now, it's
Drew's one of them.
It's definitely Drew right now. I meant like the whole list.
Hey, it's Josie Marshmallow!
Is it?
She's with that Sami Zayn guy who's going to be in the chamber too. The Elimination Chamber thing.
Boo.
Qualifying matches. Ooh, qualifying.
Oh, it is Randy Orton he's facing.
Mr. Randy. Sophie says they did set up the Rock Roman versus Cody Seth at some point last night. Dick says one-ply toilet paper has more integrity than Taylor Swift and the Chiefs Nation combined. Go Detroit.
Yeah, only if they would have made it, man. If they would have made it, I would be wearing blue face paint right now.
It's true. I would have been all for Detroit. It would have been cool. It's a bummer. Sophie says, I wonder how they came up with these qualifying matches. They probably just picked names out of a hat.
I don't know, but it makes you wonder who Dominik's going to have to wrestle.
It's going to be Mr. Big Boy.
Sammy's got to go one-on-one with Randy.
It's going to be Bronson Reed.
Okay.
Whatever. They're going to put Bronson Reed against Ivar. That's going to be stupid.
That guy.
Brrr. Chris says, at Asslemania. Why is it Asslemania, Chris? What's his face isn't going to be in it?
Vince?
Well, him and Kenny Omega with his anus compaction issues.
Yeah, no Omega. I pick you. I choose you, Roman Reigns.
I'm excited we got Snout.
Why are we watching?
There's no movie. That's not a movie at all.
Looks like a movie. Uh-oh. 6-man
Nobody
tag
cares.
team match. They separated Jay from his family, which he will join his family again.
Yeah, that was Cody's evil plot.
He's like Mr. Burns.
Sophie says WWE did announce the new show for Twitter called Speed that will debut in April. Chris
I saw
says,
that.
No Timeless Tony. Oh, that's why it's WrestleMania. Sophie says Randy versus Sammy. This will be interesting. Ayla says, why did I came? Haha! For Aoife. Aoife's now here. Hey, Aoife. Hi. Good to see you. How's life going? Are you in real school yet? Or are you still in school before school? Are you in pre-college school?
Preschool.
How's the job? You still doing the job? Chris says, but we could get Ariana Grace at Mania. Oh, I'd call her up just to get her to have an entrance on a grandest stage. Yeah, maybe. Who knows what's going to happen. Ayla says, Aoife, hello. And Aoife says, how are you guys? I'm still in school before school, sadly. Aw, still in before school, huh?
It's all right.
That's all right. Hopefully you're learning stuff. You learning? Are they getting you the learning?
Are you getting yourself educated?
Educated. Gotta get yourself educated. Get yourself educated. And Sophie says it's funny The Rock make fun of Cody's family, but when Cody made fun of The Rock's family, that's when The Rock pissed.
I know, immediately. Like, you just did the same thing.
So are you saying what's good for the goose isn't good for the gander?
What's
True.
a gander?
The male.
The dude.
It's the dude goose. He's a gander.
And the female goose is just called a goose.
No, she's actually called something else, but I can't remember. It's kind of like a play on play. A goose and a gander are basically the same thing if they're a male. It's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Cool.
I don't know where that saying came from. I just say it a lot,
Probably
and it's a really old saying.
It's probably women's movement in the 60s.
I don't know. I have no idea where it came from. I couldn't even tell you because I'm pretty sure nobody in my family has ever said it. It's probably just something that I decided to start saying. Kind of like hell in a handbasket. My mom one time asked me where the heck I'd come up with it. She's like, where did that even come from? Like, I have absolutely no idea. I have no idea if it was a show that I had watched multiple times or something.
You know now because you watched it not too long ago and you said, oh, that's where I got it.
What was it? What
I
show
don't
was
remember.
it? See?
I thought you knew
now
it.
you don't remember.
I don't know.
You said you knew.
No, I said you knew.
just said you know.
I said you know.
I said I didn't remember, and you're like, but you know.
Well, I thought you meant when you were talking to your mom.
What show were we watching?
Not today.
But what show were we watching?
If I could
Remember?
tell
What
you
movie
that, I
was
would
it?
let you know.
Was it an old movie?
Yeah, well, obviously.
How old was it?
Older than years.
Was it an old Disney movie?
Yes, I'm pretty sure.
Was it a cat one? It had to have been animals.
That damn cat.
Was
We did
it the
watch
darn
that.
cat?
We haven't watched that for a while, but it definitely could have been.
Hell in a handbasket. There's a monster in here. I hear it. That's a monster. What? Stop being
Look at that.
rude.
I didn't even touch you. That's cool.
You
That-
totally
that
touched
last
me.
time I did.
You touched me before
How
too.
cool that is.
You went. I felt it completely in my arm. I'm gonna have bruises.
That's because the power, it moves the wind like that.
You think you're just so cool because you're abusive.
Because I pee with my penis.
I want a penis to pee with. I want to be cool.
You think you're so cool because you pee with your penis?
Wow, that guy came in really fast and then went over that
Yeah, Ryan
speed bump
Blaney.
with his little raptor thinking he was all cool.
When I was a kid, my mom had a friend named Blaine, and he was blind.
Blind Blaine.
Yeah.
He was blind Blaine. Blaine the blindy. This guy looks like a twat face. Hey, it's the Pretty Deadly guys everybody likes. Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ! Oh Lord pants! No.
It's a pearl necklace.
I hope he clutches them.
Look at his hand.
Those are the pearls I need. I'm not kidding. I need to be able to clutch my pearls for horrible things that
Yeah.
happen. Danae. He's like, let's make it cool, but it's not.
I want to say inappropriate jokes, but I'm restraining it.
We have to.
Pretty Deadly.
Ayla's like preschool school. Aoife says, hi, Ayla, how have you been? And Sophie says they're kind of bringing real life to this whole Rock, Cody, Roman, Seth, and now Triple H. Aoife says, my job is going good. It's probably going to be so busy this weekend because Valentine's Day. Just think about all the money you're going to make.
Yeah, tips.
I don't think they get tips. Do you guys get tips?
They don't tip.
It's like not a thing in other countries like it is here.
Hmm.
I've learned this. I've learned myself these things. Chris says, yeah, Rock even had daughter death threats. I bet Cody, wife, and dog get death threats too, Rock. They probably did. Ayla says, I think Aoife has an Irish accent, not a dumb from the south of the USA. Ha ha ha. What the fuck? Just because I make her comments in that way doesn't mean I'm saying she has that kind of an accent, Ayla. Why don't you go advocate for her somewhere else? Oh no. How criminal of me. I can't do an Irish accent. And for all I know, she may have one of those crazy Irish accents where you almost can't understand what they're saying unless you've listened to it for a while.
Like Katie Taylor.
I don't know what's wrong with her. Hers is, I don't think that's an accent. I think that's how she has an accent. Don't get me wrong. She has an accent. But I think it's how she talks.
When I watch the rest of
Aoife, do you know
Katie Taylor? Do you watch Katie Taylor?
She's Irish, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's an Irish boxer for women's boxing, and she's really high up in the women's boxing. So I would think you guys would kind of know who she was if you follow boxing, though. If you don't have any of that.
Anyways, have you heard her talk on your island? I'm sure they've met each other. They're on a little
Oh my God, that is not how. Stop it, you ignorant fool. Stop.
I mean, if I lived on an island, I'd pretty much know everybody.
That's not how it works. It doesn't work like that. You kind of live on an island.
We do?
Giant continent. It's an island.
We do not live on.
Yeah, we do. It's right next to Florida. I don't know where you've been.
Florida's not an island. So much drama.
It's all the dramas. Anyways, let's see if I can get through all these comments and get caught up. Where were we at? Ayla was talking about
She was defending her right.
accent. Oh, yeah. Sophie says, I don't know why they put down Seth almost every week. And Aoife says, I'd love to have a Southern accent, to be honest, Ayla. Ayla says, well, Aoife, let's put it this way. A Southern accent is basically an English accent, kind of like more like the, not really the posh English accent, but kind of like some areas of England and their accents slowed down. Same thing.
And then it gets really bad when you go into like Louisiana, because then they've got accent Creole, mixed with French.
You have a different, Creole accents down in Louisiana and some of the areas, along with French accents kind of mixed in there with how they talk with their Southern accents. So sometimes they're kind of hard to understand unless you're really listening. So, yeah. Anyways, Ayla says, Travis said he knows I heard. Sophie says, I'm surprised they didn't announce the WrestleMania 41 location and date last night. Why would they? It's a year, not even, it's a whole over a year away.
Well, a couple years ago they announced the next 3.
They did, but that's fine. Dick says, when life hands you AIDS, you gotta make lemonades. Ew, gross. And Ayla says, what kind of Southern? Some are not so good. Ayla says, Richard, everyone from Florida drinking lemonades. Sophie says, finally, like Travis said, the Mania picture will finally come together. Aoife says, I don't know, like Texas probably. I'm not sure what the difference is in them. Like, whatever the typical Southern accent is, that's in the movies and stuff. Well, Texas is more of a Southern drawl type, depending on what part of Texas.
Texas is a little different.
Because Texas is like a country unto itself. And they have different regional dialects, just like Ireland does and like England does.
You're talking about like the stuff you see on TV is like Tennessee.
It's very posh Southern accent, kind of like what we hear of accents that we hear that are British accents. They're very posh accents, so Londonish type accents.
Chip chip cheerio.
Like chip chip cheerio and stuff. Some crumpet and tea.
I'm Pip and I'm here to clean the chimney.
Stuff like that. We don't mean to make fun, but it's funny at the same time for us. It's just like how you guys make fun of us. It's amazing.
I got some boots in my boot.
They're called wellies.
We'll throw your wellies into the bin.
That's the garbage. Sophie says the Bloodline family tree The Rock showed is big. Ayla says, yeah, true Southern, I guess. Some of those Southern accents are wild. This is literally wild, feral Southerners. Sophie says, I have a weird feeling that we will still see Roman versus Rock at Mania. Chris says, I'm so Southern accent like this. Yep, we went down there to Canada. Do you talk real slow, Chris? Do you got that Texas drawl? It's such a different Southern accent in Texas, and it depends on where you're at in Texas. It's so crazy, the different dialects of accents. It's actually
Texas
quite,
is ginormous.
it's actually really fascinating.
I don't know if
To be
people
honest.
realize how big Texas is, but if you're on the west coast of Texas and the east coast of Texas, it's further away than the west side of Texas to Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, that's how big
Like,
it is.
Yeah, it's insane. It's so...
Look at that. Bianca's in trouble. There it is.
Aoife, most of our states in the United States are bigger than Texas, are bigger than Ireland. Sorry, sweetie.
We're bigger. Like, our state's bigger. Not
We
all.
engulf-
Not most. But there's a great deal.
Most of our states are bigger than Ireland.
The east has a shit ton. They're all tiny.
That's a very small amount, maybe 13. Most of our states are bigger than Ireland. Now, if you're going to count the whole UK all together, including England, you know, and you're going to count all the isles together, that's different. You got to smush them together without channels in between and, you know, sea and ocean. But if you smush them all together, you know, they're you know, then they'd kind of be a lot of our states. Just our states. Like,
Yeah, we
that
get
are
it.
their own
We're
countries.
way bigger. Math.
I know, but, you know, it's funny because...
We're small compared to
Unless they come from there to here, they don't really realize how vast and large it is. Like, for you guys, a 30-minute drive is, like, really long. For us, that's nothing. Like, a 2-hour drive is, kind of long. But not
but
that.
still worth doing.
That's what I mean, though. It's kind of, it's long, but it's not like,
Every
oh my
time we
God, it's
talk
so
to-
overwhelming.
Every time we talk to Ravi, he's like, oh.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It's like an hour and a half away. I would never do that. It's like,
That's
you would
what
go to WrestleMania for an hour and a half drive?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of them don't understand how, until they come over here and actually travel, not like just fly to New York and like hang out in New York. I mean, like, literally travel the United States for the time you're here. Then you will realize how ginormous it really is.
It might take a lifetime
It could.
to go everywhere.
It could, possibly, depending on what you wanted to do. Let's see. Feral. Weird feelings. Southern accent. Oh, Ethan says, I can't understand some of them, haha, but the same could be said for our accents too, though. Ayla says, I'm also that Southern, Chris. Aoife says, we get tips, but they get put in a tip jar and split, but it's not mandatory to tip, though. Exactly. Well, it's not mandatory to tip here either, but it's just part of our culture. So much so that it's like almost expected sometimes. You're just like, yeah, I'm not tipping you. Sophie says CM Punk and his dog is getting an action figure.
Nice.
What?
I didn't know he had a dog.
I didn't. Are you talking about Cody Rhodes, Sophie? Ayla's like, hush, Talitha, you making fun of Aoife, and I know it. How am I making fun of her? I'd actually like to listen to her talk and see, because I've heard some pretty crazy Irish people accents, and
Call
it's
in.
crazy. If you follow us on Instagram, you can actually leave voice messages on there. Ravi's done it before, because I was like, I don't know what it was. It was something he was talking about, and he's like, I'll just say it to you. And he said it. I'm like, that's what you sound like? I'm like, what?
He's a rapper.
I don't know what you guys sound like. I know what I sound like. You guys know what I sound like. I have no idea what you guys sound like, though. Except Ayla, I know what she sounds like.
She sounds like this all the time.
She sounds like a dumbass. No, I'm just kidding. I have monotone. I don't get excited. Sophie says, Biggie and CM Punk together, what kind of fun to see, and Biggie looks good. Oh, yeah, on the commentary stuff for that whatever press conference thing they did last night. Aoife says, I feel like you guys would definitely find it difficult to understand me at first. But the more I usually listen, the better I get at understanding. Aoife says, it's thick enough, especially if I'm angry, and the words we would use and how we say things, a lot of people outside Ireland would be like, what? Yeah, I understand that. Dialects and, what do you call those words that people use for things that
Slang.
are slang? You probably use a lot of slang and stuff, which we do as well, that sometimes isn't understood by other people. It's like when Ravi comes in here and talks words, and I'm just like, why are you saying words like that?
Mia Yim's getting manhandled.
What I think is great, though, is Aoife, when she comes in, you wouldn't even know. Like, I really want you to, like, talk your messages and see what they come up like in the chat. Because when you chat words, it doesn't have anything in it that's, like, weird. Like, Ravi, on the other hand, when he says stuff, I'm just like, dude, you're just trying too hard to be different. Sophie says Cody versus The Rock. They kind of set that up last night. Ayla says Ireland, literally in the name Island. Sophie says we did get a AJ Lee shout out last night by Michael Cole when he was announcing CM Punk. Ayla says Cajun, you can't even understand them.
No.
Some of them.
No.
It's the Creole-ish stuff in it.
That's a hard one. I love to hear, what's his name, talk about it, Jeff Foxworthy, because he's married to one.
Oh, yeah.
And he talks about her in-laws, and he's like, holy shit.
So,
yeah, you can't understand a word.
It says they sometimes like to reveal the date and location of the next WrestleMania like a month before Mania happens. Meh, they still have a little time. Brandon says, let's go, Mishan, let's go. Brandon's like, come on, Mishan, let's go. And Aoife says, I think Texas is bigger than Ireland. I addressed that just a while ago. Sophie says, at least they got time to announce the SummerSlam date and location. It depends on when they want to release ticket sales. Ayla says, I want a Scottish accent. The one in movies are all settle for a Minnesotan South Dakota accent from Fargo.
You know, you can get them off YouTube.
You just have to listen to it over and over again.
Well, and there's coaches on there that'll walk you through every vowel, every enunciation for areas, and you can learn it quick.
Aoife says Ireland isn't in the UK. Make sure you don't say that around Irish people. Some will get offended.
I bet they would. She thought she was going to Perth.
She going to Perth.
There it is. End it. And Bianca beat her. Kiss of death. That match lasted a little longer than it should have. Maybe.
Oh, my bad. I guess you're from Southern Ireland then. Northern Ireland is part of the UK. So technically, part of Ireland is part of the UK still. My bad. Oops. Hooty-doo.
With their tanks and their bombs. The War of 1812. I don't know any of this stuff. I know that they want people to be, like, if you're a descendant, you can get citizenship there. I was going to tell Treon about it, because he could get it. Like, his grandparents are from there.
Right.
The McElveens.
Oh.
And so, that's Carrie's parents. That's
right.
Where they're from. They had accents, both of them.
Sophie says the 12 people in these qualifying matches seem random, and we don't know who else is qualifying for the women's elimination chamber. Well,
fine. I don't want to know everything. Can you imagine being just an insufferable know-it-all?
Yeah. Sophie. Just kidding. Brandon says Barney and Friends s'mores. Ayla says Texas is huge. Aoife says I have a 2.5-hour commute to college in September, and that's so far to me. Haha. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm not saying that 2.5 hours for a commute isn't far.
You're not driving that every day, are you?
Is it 2.5 hours each way, or is it 2.5 hour overall?
And is it every day?
Ayla says Ireland is part of America. Kidding. Dick says, can you smell France when the wind blows right?
Yes. Except for the wind never blows that way.
Sophie says it'll look like a thumb. No more thumb-like than Florida. That's why we're sister states. Ayla says Sophie Idaho looks like your thumb. Eva's like, ha ha ha. Sophie says, I thought they would announce the first WWE Hall of Famer last night. Ayla's like, shoot, my BF drives up to 4 hours away from where we live multiple times a week. Eva's like, wow, Ayla. It's like, it's super normal to drive that far regularly. We don't tell distance in miles. We tell distance in time. It's true. Brandon says, Mishan, let's go. She died. It's fine, Brandon.
It's over.
Sophie says that press conference last night was like a pay-per-view, but with like 4 people that were there for some reason, aka Bianca, Becky, Rhea, and Seth. Aoife says, I always tone down how I actually type so I don't look weird.
I love that.
Can you
whole
just
thing
type
was
how you
short.
normally type? I just want you to just make your
Oh my
comments like
gosh,
how you
just
normally.
be friends with her on Snapchat. Find us on Snapchat and friend her, please. And then send her a voice message.
Okay.
Like, why would you want
Do
to
they
see
do
her?
Snap? Is Snapchat something they do everywhere? I thought it was
She-
WhatsApp.
Is that the one?
I thought it was WhatsApp.
Never
was
mind,
the
not
one.
Snapchat. What's the other one? Instagram.
Well, yeah, but
Do Instagram. I know she's on there because Ayla said she's friends with her.
okay. Sophie says, I think you guys talked about accents, but we always talk about accents, Sophie. It's very intriguing to all of us.
Do you speak like a Brooklynder?
Sophie?
Yeah, she's from New York.
New York. You're from New York?
That's not. That's
Oh,
Boston.
that's Boston. Sorry, my bad. I don't know. How do Brooklyns talk? Like they're from Cuba? I mean, the other place. Puerto Rican.
Yes, but they're not all Puerto Rican.
I know that.
They're all Italian. They talk like this. I'm just kidding. That's funny. I had a guy come over one time, and he spoke perfect English. And he's like, "Well, I'm from Italy." I'm like, "What the fuck? How are you?"
What do you mean
from
you're
Italy?
from Italy?
And he's like, "Yeah, my mom's from Italy. She's born in Italy, but my dad was born in Utah." And so they taught us how to speak English perfect. My dad, And so he could speak perfect without an accent, English and Italian. But I didn't know it, so I was kind of like asking him why Italians always just whine when they talk. And he's like, "Well, what do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm from Italian, I'm Italian." And he's like, "Oh, I guess you're right." Like, how did you not know that you sound like you're whining the whole time you talk?
Haven't you ever heard Mario? Come on.
It's Mario.
It's Mario. It's like, go wild, Aoife. Talk to us like we're Irish, right? Aoife's like, haha, okay, I will from now on. And Ayla says, probably, Sophie. We need to refresh our ignorance. And Sophie says, Bianca did mention Sasha Banks last night, and Biggie mentioned Luke Harper's real name last night. Aoife says, every day's a school day, Sophie. Ayla says, I want those accents, and I don't want people who know me to question it. Aoife says, yeah, Northern Ireland is, but the Republic or Ireland is just Ireland, isn't? Yes, I know. It's by
Braun Breaker.
itself.
He's got a blue suit on. He must like in SmackDown.
Yeah, he wants to see what he can do at this level. He's looking forward to seeing it. Advice.
He's going to go to Raw.
It's Paul Heyman. Sophie says, do you think they will do what they did last night for future pay-per-views? Sophie says, if they did what they did last night, they have no reason to do that for the draft. Sophie, I don't think they're going to do it for future pay-per-views. They're doing it for WrestleMania stuff. It's just a thing.
I like it, but I mean, obviously, a lot of it had to do with The Rock. He has that drawing power, and The Rock's not going to be on every pay-per-view. But, I mean, I love it. I love the idea of it. The draft would be fantastic if it was in a stadium like that, where it's just the horseshoe, and they don't have any matches. Because that's what I don't like about the draft, is they throw matches in.
Rebecca's like, I'm back with snack time. Nice. Eva says 2.5 hours up to college twice a week because I'll be staying up there in the week. Ah, okay, that's not too bad then. Eva says, wait, no, I'll only be going up once and then coming back end of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eva's like, we have Snapchat, yes. We have everything you guys have. Okay, now, my question wasn't that you don't have Snapchat. My thing is that sometimes apps like that are not available in every country. That's all. I did not know if Snapchat was just this side of the pond type of app. Because sometimes there are apps like that. For instance, what's that one that they use over there that we don't have for sports? You talked about it sometimes when, especially when they're like Saudi Arabia or like they're in Britain or something like that, and it's on a specific sports thing.
That's because it's their national channel, though. That's
okay, but
it's called like BT Sports or
no,
BK
not that one.
B
There's another one, and Ravi brings it up sometimes.
Sky Sports.
Yeah, Sky Sports.
Right, that's their network.
Is that their network?
That's
like
just
their sports network? Okay.
That's why. But I have it now.
Do they are able to get Fox Sports? See, that's what I mean. Like, I'm just saying stuff like that. And I'm not saying that's across the board. I just know...
We don't get WWE app in network. They do.
Right. There's another one now, which will be going away at some point. So, before, like, Snapchat became worldwide, I guess you could say, WhatsApp was what was
By
used
the way,
in other
WhatsApp
countries.
is the biggest app in the world, I think.
Yeah. But it wasn't something that was utilized here in the States.
I don't use it.
Like, people didn't use it. It wasn't something we used here. It was something that's used mostly in other countries. And
that's why I had to ask.
That's it, Eva. That was my only
One of our shows, I asked about WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is WhatsApp? And they're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. It was probably Ravi, because I'm pretty sure it's huge over there. But anyways, that was it. That's all. So.
Hug me.
Tom is in the chat. Tom says, we want Vince, we want Brock. Aoife says, we have everything you guys have. And Aoife says, apart from cool candy. You guys don't want our candy. It's got red dye 40 and like it'll rot your teeth out. It's not that good. Sophie says it wasn't a press conference. It didn't look like a press conference. It was kind of like a press event. Tom says, let's go. Vince Rock sucks. Neela says, except actual houses, right? Aoife says, yes. And the houses, of course, straw. It's just not cutting it anymore.
Right.
Yeah, your little straw houses. Right. Tom says, Black, because I speak truth. We ain't Vince. Let's not disrespect the boss. Aoife says, Ruth blew away last weekend from the storm. Ina in the chat, fuck. Yeah, true. Tom says, we want Vince. And Sophie says, so The Rock is part of the bloodline. That is an interesting twist to the storyline.
Just for a minute.
Ayla says, I doubt you have it, but if you have YouTube, you should watch a video on how to build a house. Love it. Tom's like, we want Brock. Me too. HBK is involved, obviously. Ayla says, Tom, is we in the room with us? No, we. Aoife says, I don't know what a YouTube is. Might ride the horse and cart up to the neighbor and see if he's got it. Love it. Love it. Do you have to, like, ride a bicycle for your electricity?
That's what Robbie has to do in England.
All the good fun that we have. He was like, ha ha ha, Ayla. Hopefully he has a good luck. Sophie says there are fans comparing this Rock versus Cody thing to Stone Cold versus Vince. Blech. Tom says, I love this channel because I'm not getting put on timeout. And Ayla's like, Aaron. And Aoife says, thanks. I'll let you know how I get on. And Aoife's like, oh my god, I remember him. Tom says, Harley Race was worse than Vince. And Ayla's like, okay. So he says, this is kind of the fallout show from what happened last night.
There she is.
Oh, she finally decided to show her face? But not enough.
You didn't ghost me all week.
It was like, okay. So he's like, this is kind of the fallout. And Ayla says, just checking. He pops up all the time. Aoife says, major PTSD from that name in this chat. But yeah. Tom says, Rock sucks. Dick, don't put me on time. It was like, same with like every account he makes literally hundreds. Sound like Rock's gay. Oh, man. Him.
I heard rumors that he was gay.
Rumors from that guy. Sophie says, I don't have Snapchat or WhatsApp. Curvin a bruise in the chat. Hey, Curvin says, who going to wake up 5 a.m. to watch Elimination Chamber pay-per-view? Not me.
Instagram. Find us on Instagram.
I'm going to be waking up at like 3.
You're on your own.
4.
I am not getting up that early.
Aoife says, God, I remember back in like 2020 when you would just argue with him. Sophie says, remember Bailey NXT days with her fan Izzy? I don't know who Izzy is.
I remember Bailey, but I don't remember.
Tom says Stone Cold was shit as well. HBK best ever and AJ Styles.
Old AJ.
So you're going to tell me that your cross-eyed boy was like the best ever?
It's
whatever.
an opinion.
He's like in the same category as Triple H and The Rock. Curvin says, Cody Crybaby fans, happy now. You got your wish. Oh. You must be a Rock fan. Sophie says, I didn't expect the press event to be that short. Tom says, I like the channel because I don't get time out for speaking shit. Vince is the man. Let's not forget what he did special 1992 till 99. Yeah. Vince is the man. Eva says, oh my God, Eli, I think it might be him. It was like, I'll tell you the truth, Tom. I was like, Braun Breaker, any good?
Yeah, he's
all right.
He's not his dad.
Yeah.
He's definitely not his uncle.
Yeah, no, he's not. But he's okay in his own right for right now. We'll see how it goes for him. So he says, Dakota, now the Peacemaker. He says, I think so too, but I'm waiting. Tom's like, who thinks Braun Breaker is good? His dad was better. It was like his dad was a deadbeat. Oh, God! So it was like they are doing a double taping of SmackDown next week. Tom's like, I'm subscribed. Aoife says, explains a lot. Like, I don't know, people with cross eyes are pretty neat to look at. How do you know they're looking at you, Ayla? How do you know? Can they really look you in the eye?
Oh, Lord.
Yes, can I donate? Because I'd love to help Real Wrestling Channel.
You're more than welcome to give us money. It's on there somewhere.
Yeah, there's a super chat option. Super chat it! Tom's like, who fuck with AJ Styles? I don't know. Somebody's going to do it, though. LA Knight guy likes to mess with him.
That's going to happen. Uh-oh.
Oh, no, they
she
found
might
out.
Be cleared.
She's going to be in so much trouble.
She said, I'm so close to being cleared.
Sophie says after SmackDown the night before the Elimination Chamber, it will be not that long. Tom says, who can me with AJ Styles? Haven't you watched Japan and TNA? Nah, I've never watched any of those. You know when I started watching wrestling? Like 4 years ago. Literally.
4.5,
Sorry.
yeah.
Aoife says, can cross-eyed people have steering contest?
Yeah, with two people at once.
It was like, I don't know, but I'm looking at them steering. It was like, find one and try.
Look at this picture. It looks like they're kissing.
Oh, that's perfect. So it says Dakota siding with Bayley. That is a surprise, and it looked like she was going to do a Rollins on Bayley with the chair.
It did, too.
She almost did it. She's like, I was going to, but I'm not sure what I want to do. You better pick it up and hit me with it. You coming with me? No! Tom's like, please answer. Who is as good as AJ Styles now? Sean is retired.
Oh, look at this. So Bayley looks like she has a shower curtain on.
True.
Why? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe she really liked that look. She's like, it's very plasticky. Why?
So who's
What
better
else?
than AJ Styles? You want me to give me a list?
Who is as good as AJ Styles now? Sean is retired.
You want me to give you like the list, or just a few?
I don't know.
Because it would take a while.
Give him 5. Aoife says they'll set up a Tinder profile cross-eyed preferred. Tom says, so does this channel not compare AJ to Sean?
No.
Oh, God, no.
No, I don't. I'm not a huge fan of Shawn Michaels. I stopped watching WWE when they split up the Rockers. I was watching WCW mainly at that time. I was never a big fan of the tag team split-ups. They did it with the British Bulldogs, the Rockers, and the Hart Foundation. And it was because their main stars left. And I understand why they did it. I just wish they would have never done it. And then it made Vince want to do it with every tag team after that. Like every time there was a tag team, it was like, oh, split them up.
Right. Sophie says it looked like Dakota was going to side with the Kabuki Warriors and Io before tonight. Dick says, who's in my mouth is the favorite AEW locker room pastime.
It's a fun little game.
That sounds just not good. It was like a Craigslist ad for a staring contest with cross-eyed people. So I'm like, us people are busy and you ignore me. AJ Styles is the best.
AJ's decent.
Who said anybody ignoring
I mean,
anybody, dude?
obviously,
Stop.
AJ's like 45 years old, so he's up there.
He's kind of old, too. Like, you want to talk about being old and has-been-ish? AJ Styles getting pretty close to that. And he also said that he was going to be retiring in the next 5 years, and that was about 3 years ago. Maybe 4.
Look at this guy.
Hey, that's your favorite guy. It's your favorite little man. He's your favorite little man.
Oh, look at this guy.
Why did he have to kill a rat and put it on himself?
That's a full-size rat, too.
He
He didn't sew any together. That's just one rat. It's a New York City sewer rat.
Something like that. Eva's like, ha 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 ha. So if he says Seth versus Orton, we have seen that match at Mania. It was at that Mania where we saw Rollins cashed in. Blood. It says, I don't know how to feel about Kai. And it's kind of weird because she can't really wrestle yet. So it's like, It was like, I don't think it's AA. Tom says, we want AJ Styles now that Sean is old. Liz says, delete that. I guess you have to read faster. Tom's getting petty. Not the petty.
You guys,
Tom,
this match is
petty.
going to happen whether we like it or not, so try to enjoy it.
Do I have to?
Holy
Can I just leave?
shit. I wish I could just fast forward it.
Oh, can I go home? I've been turned into
Yeah, go ahead. Anybody else? No, we're good. No.
Tom's like, ask AJ Styles. Sophie says, so we are going to see AJ versus LA Knight at some point. Most likely.
Yeah, that's
That's
coming.
going to have to
That's
happen.
either at Mania or just before. I would assume they'll keep it going till Mania.
Yeah. And it was like, AJ sucks. Oh, man. Sophie's like, so Rhea versus Nia is the main event for Elimination Chamber, so Roman won't be on the show.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect to see Roman there.
Yeah, it'd be weird. Tom's like, and how you all be wrestling fans and not mention AJ Styles. Dude.
AJ was
Why
on
are you
earlier.
so obsessed with him?
AJ,
My God.
AJ was on earlier and he lost to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
With a little help from his
I mean,
friends.
LA Knight did kind of fuck it up for him, so they're going to have a fight. Pissing match. But I mean, my goodness. There's no reason to keep talking about him because he was on earlier and that's when we talked to him.
Because he's the phenomenal one.
And he's getting kind of old, so I don't know. He's kind of like getting to a point where he's kind of a has-been at this point.
Why do you,
And a lot of them are.
why are you picking on
Randy
AJ?
Orton's the same way. LA Knight's getting old too. Like, I mean, they're all getting up there in ages where they're not.
Yeah, but they're all that age.
Exactly. They're all that age. So it's kind of like, you know.
Right now we got Butch and Tyler Bates or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Master
those
Debate.
guys. Everybody's favorite.
They're going up against Johnny Gargano and Ciampa.
And he looks like AJ equals old bag of rocks. He needs a walker. Oh, God. Sophie says, I think AJ talked about retiring before he came into the WWE. He did. He literally did. Like, that's not hearsay or anything. He talked about it. He talked about giving it 5 years and he was going to be done.
Making money now.
I mean, you know, and it's not like, you know, he really needs to go after titles or anything. I mean, he can, but, you know, got to give other people chances too. Like, he had his moments, which he did, right?
Yeah, he's
He
the one
was
that beat
the phenomenal
Jinder.
one for a reason. Eva's like, Papa Ela. Tom says, this is why wrestling is dying, because of you people don't appreciate the pain they go through. Who's you people? That's rude. Sophie says, I'm surprised we haven't seen Sheamus and Rey. Sheamus was broken, Sophie, and Rey Mysterio was broken as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how Rey's recovery is, and I'm not sure what Sheamus's injury was.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be coming back pretty soon. They had little talks about it, but I haven't seen hide nor hair or anything about him. Hence why they kind of broke up, like, his whole little group. There wasn't really anything for him. Tom's like, fuck this channel. Yay! Eva says, I appropriate it very much. I appropriate it too. It's like Tom laughing. Yeah. Tom says, so what about real wrestling matches?
Are you talking about like college?
What are you
Or
talking
the
about? Real
Olympics?
wrestling matches?
Or are you talking about what?
Are you talking about WWE wrestling? Like pro wrestling entertainment? Or real wrestling? Like what you see in the Olympics? It was like, Tom is a baby. Oh, God. Ayla, stop. I was like, this channel is a joke. Are we? He was like, channel number 2. It's a nice perfume. It's like he's a troll. So he's like, I'm surprised Roman doesn't want to wrestle in Australia in front of a sold-out crowd.
Why?
Why does he need to? Hey, look, Piccola to the rescue. Hey, thanks, Piccola. Oh, let's see.
Our new addition, BFAB.
Oh, barf. Well, you guys went downhill real fast.
Oh, just shush.
Dick says, is anyone else not happy with the booking for Sting's last match? Tony needs drug hooker rehab and needs to hire a booking team.
No, I agree. That's the
dumb.
Young Bucks, and they're probably going to win the championship. Like, because why would they let Sting go out as champion? Are they going to have a tournament or something afterwards?
I guess, maybe.
Or make Darby pick a tag team partner?
Right. It says, I don't think I've smelled it before, Eva. It says, Tom, before you came in, we weren't talking about wrestling. It says, I might block. Clown. And Ayla says, I've been using perfumes called Tokyo Milk. It's my favorite brand. Sounds terrible. What the fuck? That sounds gross as fuck, dude.
Very
Sophie says,
X-rated.
BFAB went from hero to this group of Bobby. That sounds like an upgrade. What happened to the other guy that we only saw once a few weeks ago?
Ashante?
The shitty pants? I don't know. It was like, I have some that are sweet and some that are more dark. It was like backyard wrestling. Oh, that's what it is. It was like, finally, a mod. Sophie says, I expect Rey and Sheamus to return so they can start their WrestleMania storylines. If they're injured, they can't. I mean, it's different. Picole's like, real wrestling is in Mars. Eva says, thank God Piccolo is here. Sophie says, I read Sting said he didn't want to win the AEW Tag Team Championship. Well, he fucking got it anyways, so there's that.
Yeah, poor Ricky Stark, the Pebble.
Piccolo says, is it in a bag? The Tokyo Milk?
It's in a
bag. You know, in Canada, their milk is in a bag. It comes in a bag.
I know, but it's perfume.
I know, it could come in a bag, though. We
don't
don't know that. Ayla didn't say. It was like, sounds disgusting. Tokyo Milk. Eva's like, interesting name. Ha ha. It was like, Google it. I'm not Googling shit, dude. You know that's going to come up. Porn shit. That's what's going to come up.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get me to have my Google search be something disgusting, and it's not going to happen.
Flagged on the internet.
Yuck. Lady.
This is a weirdo.
Don't be weird. You're grossness. It's fine. Tom finally got his timeout that he wanted anyways. He kept asking for it, you know.
Oh!
He's like, well, being this way isn't getting it. I'll be
Look at
belligerent.
this.
That'll get it.
The wrestlers are the same size.
Oh, look, they're all tiny little men.
And
They're
I'm
like
okay with
12-year-olds.
this. Why
They're
not?
the same size as the ref. Look, the ref is like their size too.
Right?
They're like, we don't want anybody to feel offended by somebody else's size and height.
The Ciampa's like 8 feet taller than them all.
Ah!
5'6". Look at this. The giant orc.
Right? It's like, do you think with The Rock being the boss of the WWE, this opens the doors for free agents to come in? I don't care.
Yeah.
He calls us, bro, Ricky Starks finally got his title. Good for him. I mean, good.
Ricky Stark lost his title.
Yeah, he's not the tag team champions anymore.
Unless something
Darby
happened on
and Sting
Saturday.
are. Darby and Sting are the new tag team champions. It was like, nah, check your text. I got one with an octopus on the bottle. That's what drew me in. Oh, God.
Oh, my Lord. I feel like I don't care what it smells like.
Like,
It's an
you know,
octopus.
especially if it's called Tokyo Milk. It's fine.
Did they
I don't know
milk?
where it came from. Did it come from milking an octopus?
That's what I was going to say. Did they milk an octopus?
Is that why? Is that why there's an octopus on it? Just out of curiosity.
It's not ink. Smooth apple. Their smoke shield. Whoa. How about we don't walk in traffic looking at our phone?
Amber resin. My God, what the hell are they trying to put on you? Sounds nasty. Amber resin?
Is that like from cutting a amber? Like a gemstone?
I have no idea. I mean, in all seriousness, what are the underlayment smells for it? That's what I want to know. Because if it's like hugely musky, yuck. I'm glad it smells good on some people, but
Cheese.
Aoife says, I'm gonna go to bed now. I'll chat to you at some stage. My sleep schedule is fucked, so I should be back next week. All right, Aoife. Well, good luck with everything this weekend, hon. Hopefully you get paid lots of money. Just think of it that way. Money, money, money in your pocket for how busy it is. You take care, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully. If not, it's okay.
Bye-bye.
Pico says, Ciampa, he's girthy.
Yeah.
Sophie says, Jacob Fatu is on that bloodline tree. What? How dare he? I can't believe they would have him on that tree.
Some trees need to be trimmed.
Sophie says, let's see what happens at Mania. Like, will The Rock be a regular character showing up every week?
No. Unless
Can
he
we
has
quit
nothing
if
else
he
to
does?
do.
Ayla says, so the octopus one is kind of musky. But the one called Let Them Eat Cake is sweet and yummy. And the one that smells like honey. Interesting. Sophie says, if Cody doesn't beat Roman for the second year in a row, expect a riot again. Ooh. Ayla's like, night, Aoife. Aoife says, night, Ayla. Sophie says, I wonder how they will make this Roman versus Cody different this year than when they faced last year.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Roman will turn on him. Or, what is his name? The Rock will turn on Roman first and take the bloodline away from him. And so he's by himself. And then Cody beats him. So Cody literally takes everything from him. Because that's what he said he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then Roman leaves for a while. Then comes back.
Yeah. Pico is like, I feel like it'll be a tag main event. Right?
That's what it felt like. So we got Sami Zayn and Randy Orton shutting this show down.
Pico says, Super Samoan powers. Dick says, Tokyo milk smells nice, but you gotta try Tijuana buttermilk. Each batch is handcrafted. Sounds like drugs.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're talking about drugs at this point. Sophie says Seth Rollins, this whole Rock Cody Roman thing doesn't make sense. Just let it be, Sophie. It's fine. Just roll with the punches like everybody tells me
Wait
to
and
do.
see. Watch it develop.
I cut up carrots and now my thumbnail is orange along with those orange nails. Orange. Yeah, because of carrots. For my carrot cake that I made for myself. Yum! Well, don't worry about it. Wade Barrett, you are a hernia.
It's a hemia.
So it's like, this match is awesome. Feels like you got to know when to hold them.
And
you got to know when to fold them.
You got to know when to walk away. When to run.
It's true.
I heard you never even count your
know
money
when to fold them. Know when to count your money.
when you're sitting at the table.
Definitely. Sophie says, if you like old school NXT, this match is for you. Yeah, I don't like any of this.
And I'm definitely not a fan. So
I don't like it. I hate it. All of it. Every single aspect of this, I do not like.
I'm okay with this. Oh, no. Ciampa didn't pin him.
The masturbating kid in his diaper pants one. He made sure he kicked out of that. Good for him, I guess. I'm not sure what kind of a move that was, but it was dumb looking.
Backbreaker. He's in his diaper pants, which is weird.
So
He's got pull-ups on.
he has bowed legs, so it's even more creepy.
He's all of like 5'2".
Sophie says, so you would be happy with big guys? I would be happy with guys that actually look like wrestlers.
How about I want somebody that doesn't look like they could work at a gas station and get beat up by a customer.
And do weird stuff like that.
I don't want to see restaurant attendants in my wrestling ring. I want to see guys that you're like, holy shit. Like Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and you go, holy shit. What do you do for a living?
Right. That person says wrestling is great. Somebody says, I thought they would give it to DIY. Dick says, what's the guy's name wearing the Pampers? That's Mr. Bate.
They call him Tyler.
They call him Mr. Master. I mean, Tyler Bate. He looks like a child that shouldn't be out there. Ooh, Pico says, speaking of Mexican cooks, what about him? And I was like, what the fuck, Travis? I want gas station guy. That's relatable.
Yeah, I don't want to relate to my wrestlers.
The bait duns.
He's done baiting. The done bait. The bruiser weight. He's all of 5'3".
So this is Kevin Owens versus Dom next week on SmackDown.
That'll be cool.
And I was like, you're stuck up. Yeah? Good. I am stuck in the ups. Not only am I stuck up, I had to make my own cake for my own birthday. How rude is that shit?
There's a big rock head in the audience.
I saw it earlier. It's like somewhere over in this
Yeah.
area. Yeah, I saw it earlier. It's like his cool head, his old school rock.
Yeah.
When he was like first came or whatever. They're like, are you guys okay? Let's talk to each other.
Hey, look, it's Ring of Honor happening right in the middle of the ring.
Basically.
Imagine that.
Jesus Christ.
With Tony Khan running shit. That's what
It
you
looks
get.
like gas station Bob. So it's like, R-Truth don't know where that story is going. Does it matter? Just enjoy it for what it is right now.
What
It was
story?
like R-Truth. It was like, I would have made you cake. Whatever, bitch. You didn't even suggest cake to me. You didn't message me and say, oh, hey, happy birthday, by the way. Do you want cake for your birthday? No, you didn't.
I cleaned the kitchen for you.
So I could make my own cake.
Yes.
And my own dinner, and dinner for him and everybody else.
No. I asked you about dinner, and you said...
Well, at the time, I didn't know what I wanted. At the time, I was just hungry.
I know.
And
That's why I asked
think
you.
about dinner.
I asked you the day before, and you're like,
I just want to eat right now. Exactly, because I was hungry.
and it just like
You're like, what do you want? What do you want for dinner tomorrow?
Her
Leslie?
attitude.
I don't fucking know.
She was all great and wonderful to be around, and then like right at 8:30, she was just like, I'm like, what the fuck?
I wonder why.
You went crazy.
Did I?
Mm-hmm.
Was it crazy?
That's what crazy people do.
Is it?
You're just normal. You're just like, we are the world.
So I went into the
We
kitchen and
are
made
the
food
children.
and was fine. And then you asked me if I was fine. I said I was fine. And then you continuously told me how I wasn't fine. But I'm supposed to be like, oh, it's fine and I'm fine. And then you're like, you don't seem fine.
I'm like, so, like, why did you get the Ouija board out and play with it?
Nobody did but you. You insisted that I was that way.
No,
and then when you get it, you don't like it. Imagine that.
True.
You asked for it on how much of occasion for 30 minutes. And then you got what you asked for. And then it was like, this isn't what I wanted. Every time. You do it all the time.
Mm-mm.
Are you in a bad mood? No. Well, you seem like it. Do I? Well, keep telling me how I feel, my man. And we'll see how far it goes for you.
You ready for this? Hopefully Randy wins.
Well, thank God it's the end of the show.
Well, yeah, it's main event.
Yeah, the main event. That
gonna
means it's
interfere-
closer to me leaving.
Who's going to interfere and fuck this one up? I don't see it ending clean.
I don't know who it would be. I didn't even know you could order plants off Amazon.
Yeah, they sell them on there. I've looked on there to buy them because I usually get them off QVC.
I feel like they'd be too expensive. No, I mean real plants. Not like, here's a baby, I'm going to like plant you in a seed and you're going to grow into a plant. She's buying actual fucking real ass plants.
Yeah, they sell those.
Like, here's a big old plant for you. It's already fabulous. And so much better. It was like I sang to you on Wrestling Gap. Yeah, but you didn't call me and sing to me. Sophie's like, what are your plans for this weekend besides the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
All about your mom. It was like, you could have made cake, Travis. Cake. Dick says Tyler B is a wee little man. Looks like he needs a bottle and a burp. Sophie says, are there any movies or shows you are going to watch this weekend? You know, we watched some Reacher. I made Travis watch it.
We watched season 1 of Reacher this last week.
That's
all right.
Wanted to see what it was all about. Wanted to see what it was all about. And then I got Travis hooked on it. We had to watch it.
She skipped an episode.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know that's what it did.
You honestly didn't even need to watch it. Like, it was fine.
I know, but it did fill in a couple little things that were questioned. Yeah. So it did kind of help with some stuff.
Yeah, when she said it was kind of entertaining, or, you know, like, something happened.
Yeah. But, yeah. It was like, you want me to make you cake this weekend? I already made me a fucking cake. It's out there, cooling. I made a big fat carrot cake for myself, and after we get off here, I'm going to go out there and make my cream cheese frosting to slather upon my cake so I can eat some cake. Eagle says, I could send you some king cake. Do those box well? I feel like they wouldn't really go well. I saw some TikToks about king cakes. And, like, there's a place down there that, like, sends them. But they're, like, ones that you would have to, like, they'd have to be, like, overnighted, I guess.
What's a king cake?
It's, like, for Mardi Gras stuff.
Oh,
it's, like, specifically for, like, Mardi Gras. It's something about getting that baby, and somebody said if you get the baby, you have to buy the next year's king cake or something like that, or I don't know. I feel like it's something more than that. I really do. I feel like it's Sophie says, my dad was kind of the same way Travis is with that type of stuff. It was like cinder cake, at least. Pickle's like, happy Mardi Gras. And Sophie says, wow, this show went by fast. Sophie says, it sometimes feels like this show just started. And it says, do you want a plant? I don't want a fucking plant. I'll just murder it. Do you know how easy it is to murder a plant? I'll show you. I have a monster cat that ate my plant I brought home. He murdered it. I had to take it back to work. I brought it home to, like, plant the stupid fucking thing and then take it to work. No. I was like, oh, he's in a bag. I better take him out and give him some sunshine and some, like, some carbon dioxide so he doesn't die. Oh, yeah, that was a bad idea. The cat ate him. And then he's barely, like, making a comeback from it.
Awesome.
Poor thing. Poor Mr. Spidey. Evil cat. So he says, my mom kind of does the same thing Dee does while watching something on TV by skipping an episode. I didn't skip it on fucking purpose! The fucking thing we were using skipped it! Skipping that episode of Reacher? I didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't like I purposely was like...
Oh, it was awesome, though. But then we went back and watched it to fill in some holes.
Oh my god. Like, I was like, it shows we didn't watch that when I thought that was the one we just watched. And like, no, I think we missed it. And I'm like, you goddamn son of a bitch and shit. Fucking crap. It was like, I can make you another cake. What kind of cake are you going to make me?
Oh, they're going to be in Salt Lake next week.
SmackDown is? Cool. Fans of the Green Bay Packers in the chat says, hey there, everyone. Hey, fans. Ayla says, Fat Lisa explain king cake. And Melissa says, hi. Hi, Melissa Zimmerman. Sophie says, Logan Paul versus The Miz. Oh, boy.
Again.
He's going to win, he said. He's very adamant about his winning. It was like, I have a start to a sweatish ivy. Why is it sweating? That sounds gross. Keel says, well, sometimes it has a cream or jelly filling, and the exterior has purple, green, and gold. And the tiny baby is plastic, and it's good luck. Oh, it's good luck. Okay. I wasn't sure. Of course it's The Miz.
It's like I already beat him. The Miz.
That's an understatement.
Good stuff. What?
You being a jerk face.
What I do?
I don't know.
How's that
Being you?
Are you switching?
Being a jerk face like normal.
Are you turning it into the whole?
Oh, look, see? There it is. Thank
Okay.
you.
Oh, look, Bobby Lashley.
Tell me again how I'm supposed to feel.
Look at Bobby Lashley.
Big Bronson Reed, huh?
So next weekend, if I go to Salt Lake City and watch that, I could watch 2 of them in a row. Because they're recording next weekend. So Salt Lake gets a 6-hour show or whatever it is.
Nice. Weird.
4 hour. Selena's face does not look cute.
No.
She got Down syndrome or something. Tiffany versus Shotzi. Oh.
So it says, so it looks like next week we will find out all 6 people in the men's elimination chamber. It's a Swedish. Oh, Swedish Ivy, not Swedish. Why not Swedish? I mean, does it sweat? It sounds like it smells bad. Sophie's like, sometimes the streaming service does skip an episode out of nowhere. And Sophie says, who wins this match?
Well, I would have hoped that Randy would, but they have been kind of saying things about Sammy.
Yeah, so there's that.
I know if I was in charge, Sammy wouldn't be on my roster, but I'm not in charge. I like the fun stuff he was doing. I guess I could make him do that stuff again if I was running shit.
Mousetrap.
But yeah, he could lose to another Mousetrap. That would be fantastic.
Sophie says Bobby versus Bronson Reed is a fresh match.
Yeah.
And it says it doesn't low care too. Oh, it doesn't smell like sweat. That's always a good thing. Is it as low care as a snake plant and a spider plant? Because I know those are major low care, and I can keep those alive so far without a cat eating them. It would have to go to my job, though, because I can't have plants here.
The sun's on the wrong side of the house.
That and the cat likes to eat things that he's not supposed to, so he's kind of dumb. Not really dumb, he's just a Siamese. It's actually normal for them to just eat things. So weird.
It's Randall Orton.
Clay Lewis in the chat. Hey, Clay. What's up, guys? Shout out to you. Yeet!
Yeet.
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 So he says, I feel like they will set up Mania matches for all the losers and all the people that qualify in the chamber.
Probably.
Yeah, most likely. They gotta have filler matches of some kind, right? Things that don't matter. Start up other storylines or whatever it is. Do things.
LA's gonna lose, and he'll wrestle AJ.
It's like water like once a week and indirect sunlight. Yeah, it sounds terrible. Snake Plant has, remember to water it? Yep, I think I did. Like 3 weeks ago. You look like you're not happy over there, Mr. Plant.
Yeah.
Okay, let me water you. Or what they call it, a mother-in-law tongue plant or whatever. I've always called it a snake plant. But
A mother-in-law tongue?
plant, yeah. I guess. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, that looks too bushy. Look at that thing. Look how terrifying that Swedish Ivy looks.
Very Swedish.
It's very sweatish. All the sweatness. All the sweaty sweats. Mother-in-law's tongue or snake plant.
Yeah.
That's what they look like, some of them.
That's funny. Are you ready? Next. Got about 5 more minutes before the matches start. That'll give us right around 12 minutes for this match to happen. You excited for it?
I'm so excited.
Ugh.
Toodle toodle doodle toodle doodle.
I choose you, Roman Reigns. That's what Cody said. And The Rock said, watch your mouth.
Oh my God. It can be an invasive plant when planted outdoors, just so you know.
What is it? That
The
Swedish
snake
one?
plant.
Oh.
Do you know that it is the only plant that can like filter indoor air and remove toxic pollutants in like small spaces?
Cool.
Isn't that crazy? It's pretty cool. It's a cool little plant. They're actually pretty cool plants. Anyways.
You're into your mother-in-law's tongue.
Right. I looked at the pictures. So if it says, do you think this Roman Brock pairing will lead to a Roman face turn? So if it says they did kind of cheered Roman last night. Kiko says, have I shared with y'all the pergola lately? No. You didn't fucking show us the pergola. Rudeness. Want to see it now. It's been repainted and rearranged. You better fucking show me pictures. It was like the start is just one vine. Yeah, but it grows into a bush of crazy. It's like you could get those fake cactus plants. That sounds silly. So it says when Randy was taken out, Sammy was a manager of Cesaro and Nakamura.
Yep.
Ayla says, I'm leaving you guys. Good night.
That was a good time.
Well, fine, Ayla.
That's
Why
something
don't
he
you
would be
just
very good
leave?
at, is being a manager. And I thought when that was happening, I was like, this is perfect for him.
To be just a manager.
Because he's not good wrestling, but he is very good talking.
He does okay most of the time.
He's good at it.
Sophie says this is going to be a fun match. So fun. So he says, so Dee will be happy her fave guy, The Rock, will be on SmackDown next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
In Salt Lake City.
So great. You know what I didn't do? Damn it.
It's your own fault.
Damn it.
Nobody blame but you.
You.
While you're at the store.
You. Do it again.
No, I'm sorry. I lifted.
Do it again.
Don't. This will be over in 10 minutes.
Have they even started the match yet?
No.
Oh, good for them. They've wasted 15 minutes of our lives not having a match. Perfect.
They like wasting our lives. But I've seen this 10 times.
This is, why did Cody say last week he didn't want to face Roman at Mania but changed his mind last night? Pico says, I enjoy breathing. Ew, don't my thangs. Ah, I messed it. Don't be weird.
There's the bell.
Oh, they finally started
9 minutes.
this match.
9-minute match.
Can't even be 9 minutes. Oh, I guess I could. 9 minutes is way before 8 o'clock time.
Yeah, but they go off early. About 6 after 50.
That's true.
Look at him pointing his finger at him. A fat sausage.
Fat sausage.
His finger.
Damn. Sausage.
A rock head just chilling out there.
It's creepy as fuck, man. It's
Rock.
like it's out there just staring at people.
Like, how do they let him in the building with that big ass thing? But I guess a lot of them have it. Big signs.
Most of the time, they try to keep it down. And then they kind of put it up sometimes in the town. So he says, I thought Triple H was going to say that after last night, Roman is going to wrestle both nights of Mania. Why would he do that?
You wouldn't want to do that because it would make Cody look weak.
It'd be strange.
If he beats a tired Roman. And you can't have Roman wrestle night 1 against Cody for the title. That's the main event. Come on, Randy. That Elimination Chamber is going to be a pretty damn good match. There's going to be some pretty heavy hitters in there.
If Randy wins?
Yeah.
Because so far we have Drew.
Uh-huh.
And if you have Randy, let's say. Well, who else would you throw in there?
Kevin Owens.
Kevin?
Well, he's going to. And then, unless somebody interferes in that one, who's Kevin feuding with? Anybody?
Just how U.S. title holder, what's his face? Logan Paul.
Logan could be in there. Logan probably will be in there. So it'll be Logan.
Because he's going up against Miz.
Yeah.
And they showed who KO was going up against, but I can't remember.
Dominik.
Oh, yeah, Dominik.
So Kevin goes. And then Bronson Reed against, who was that? Oh, Bobby. So I would assume Bobby goes. And then that other one, LA could lose by AJ Styles, and Ivar could go. Or they could just have LA win clean. That one's kind of a
True. Sophie says people thought they were going to have The Rock face Seth at Mania for the championship.
Why?
Nah, that
what
just
story
weird.
is that? There's no storyline there.
Sophie says LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, Ivar, The Miz, Logan Paul. Is that who you think are going to go? Because Drew McIntyre won the first. Oh, that's who's left?
I think that was that list.
Oh.
Who's going to advance? They're going to another commercial.
Yeah.
With like just minutes left.
Yeah. They did 4 minutes of actually starting the match in wrestling.
They got to pay
51.
some bills. Yeah.
So this is like I said before, those qualifying matches seem random. Feels like, quit pissing on my back and tell me it's raining, Sophie. Chris says Kai will be the mastermind and will be an even more dastardly hill than ever before. Oh yeah? Is that how it's going to work? I thought she picked Bailey's side. Sophie says, I'm surprised Solo isn't part of the qualifying for the chamber. He probably has something else he has to do.
Bloodline business.
Possibly. That's a possibility for sure.
The Rock's got to go talk to Jay and get Jay back.
Does he? So he can like disband the whole thing?
I just feel like he needs to just go lay the law down with him.
It's kind of funny, but yeah, go ahead.
Chip.
Stars farting up the sky. What the
farting
fuck?
up the sky.
What the hell?
It's like the Eris tour when she's farting in her microphone on the cover. Like, why are you farting in your microphone? Those Swifties are a crazy bunch of people.
They are. They really are. I don't know, but it looks dumb.
Milk and a boot. Something else. That girl's going to break the all-time scoring record in college for women.
Chris says, I would have Dom break away and join Kai as his new mammy and call her Lil Mammy. And they both would get so much heat as the heels.
That's funny.
Sophie says, maybe this Rock Roman thing will set up for something major down the line. We don't know what The Rock whispered in Cody's ear last week. And Piccolo says, so, is this the new broadcasting team? That Irish guy is gone, huh? Yeah, yes. Kevin Patrick was booted. I'm not sure why. Nobody really knows. there was supposedly something, but who knows?
He didn't do it right.
He like did something wrong or wasn't disparaging enough or something. I don't fucking know. He probably said something on his personal shit, and they're like, nope.
He's flexing his brain.
Who's flexing his brain?
Sammy.
Oh, he has a brain? That's
Yeah,
weird.
they're saying he does.
Silly. That doesn't sound right at all. He's got the rope perching.
This is scary.
Sophie says, imagine if they brought Booker T back on the SmackDown announce team.
Oh,
I'd quit.
You'd probably have to just stop watching it.
I would definitely start watching it in Spanish.
Which isn't a bad idea.
Just start watching it in Spanish. Pickle's like, Tin Man Sammy.
Here we go. Getting to be the end. Does he RKO him after the Hulula kick?
I have no idea. So it says they sometimes have Hall of Famers or legends be on the commentary team for one night only.
Yep.
Sure. Sure they do.
Does anybody remember when Randy was in the greatest wrestling match of all time?
Well, that can't have happened because that one guy isn't there anymore.
Adam Copeland.
Yeah,
A lot of
that
people
guy.
know him as Edge. Here it is, the patented DDT.
Is he going to be able to do it with his back issue he's got going on right now?
Nope, Sammy reversed it. Threw him to the outside.
Oh, man.
Going to be a double count out. What happens if there's a draw? Can there be a draw? I mean,
I don't know,
he's
but I really
counting.
need somebody to be a bad man.
Right. Oh, monitor broke.
They'll never know what to say.
Randy's saying something into his ear. He's whispering sweet nothing.
Not the whispering of sweet nothing. Pico says, any rehash trash worth talking about from hour one?
No.
Not really. They just talk. The first like 10 minutes was from that stupid press event that they did yesterday. That's about it.
Here it is. DDT. Here it comes. RKO.
Oh no! Poisonous.
Sammy rolls him up.
He thought he was going to get him with a fruit roll-up. So it says if Orton enters the Elimination Chamber, does that mean he wins the chamber? Not necessarily. Phil says, yep, he fought Lemon Pledge. So it says now the chamber is unpredictable with the winner, kind of like the Rumble.
Yep.
So it says one time they had 7 men in the chamber, which was weird and awkward.
I do remember that. Is that the one that Shinsuke won?
7. How'd they have 7?
They just started with 3.
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
Very predictable.
What? No way. I can't believe that Sammy lost that. I figured he would totally win. So strange how that worked out.
You're lying.
Never. I would never do that. Would never, ever. Ever. Just like Travis would never tell people how they feel. So if he says John Cena or Randy Orton was in that 7-man chamber, I think. Well, I'm glad you think, because I don't know. right, everybody. That's the end of the show. Bye. And done.
Old Australia.
All right, we've got 2 men in the men's elimination chamber right now. We've got Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton are your 2 guys that were in matches tonight for it. Oh, who's going to be next?
Ew.
They've got a whole bunch of people, 6-man chamber, Perth. They've got Randy Orton and Drew Mac. They need 4 more dudes. Sammy's going to go cry about it in the back. Hey, babe. Come here, little dude. Oh, I know. There we go. Hi, buddy. They're going to be in Salt Lake City next week if anybody cares. There you go, bud. Oh, no. Drew Mac's out there with him. How did he come out? Where did he come from?
They're going to hug and love.
He, came out of nowhere.
They're going to hug and love each other.
Randy thought RKOs were crazy. Drew McIntyre came out of fucking nowhere.
Randy's a... Oh, by the way.
Big guy, look at me. Big. Anyways, Miguel's like, Asa La Vista, baby. Happy Fat Tuesday next week. Fat Tuesday. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. You guys have a great rest of your Friday evening. Fabulous weekend. And if you do happen to have a Super Bowl party, be safe out there, everybody. Don't drink too much. And if you do, make sure you're either at home when you do it or you get a safe drive to your home. All right. We'll see you guys again on Monday night for Monday Night Raw.
Thanks for watching Wrestling Gap. Bye-bye.
Bye.